Joe, let me ask you a question.
Oh, God.
How angry are you?
I'm pretty angry.
Yeah?
Actually, yeah. Kratos angry, I think you could say.
I'm a little perturbed.
What?
Mainly because we couldn't find a better game to show for this week's Watch Us Play.
All the God of War fans out there are so pissed off
They
right now.
just clicked stop on this. So, all right, yes, we're playing God of War Ascension for this week's episode of Watch Us Play. I'm Eric Norris, the man you hate now. And this is Joe Davidson.
I love God of War. I love it.
That's a lie.
I love it.
You love the graphics. People love the graphics.
It is gorgeous.
Yes. All right, so God of War Ascension. Mm-hmm. I published our review Tuesday. This is going up Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's been on the internet for 2 days now.
Yes.
I thought it was okay, as you can tell by my less than enthusiastic approach to this Watch Us Play. It's basically the same game we've been playing since the first God of War in 2005.
And other people have come out and since refined the genre and made it
correct. So that's my big talk about, especially the last 3 months. We've had DMC and we've had Metal Gear Rising.
Platinum Games, dude.
Yeah, both, that third-person action beat-em-up style game that both have kind of their own unique style and way of doing things, and they were just more memorable than Ascension.
And I mean, if you look at the studios that did DMC and
Metal Gear.
Jeez,
there it is.
My brain just went, where am I? If you look at the studios that did that, Ninja Theory and Platinum Games, those are studios that are upstart. They're kind of taking risks. They're trying new things. Sony Santa Monica, I mean, I love the studio. I'm not here to bash Sony Santa Monica, but they took a very straightforward, let's not fuck with it too much approach with God of War Ascension.
Right.
So, and I think the only really big new thing, and I'm doing air quotes here.
He is going very hardcore air quotes.
Is the multiplayer.
Right, and we don't actually show that in this episode because we're playing on Joey's personal PS3.
Yeah.
The online pass for the game, because this game obviously comes with one.
Oh, that's
multiplayer.
Fun. That's just...
is tied to my personal PS3,
right.
So we can't show the multiplayer. But I agree with you. Multiplayer actually in this game might be my favorite feature. It's not perfect.
Sure.
But it's at least something new.
It's not the same God of War. I mean, looking at this, other than the graphics, if you were to take this moment from this God of War here, right now, what you're seeing right now, you wouldn't be able to tell which God of War it's from.
Right.
And I think that speaks loud and clear about the game itself. And I mean, I'm not trying to sit here and say that it's Call of Dutying itself. I think we said that while we were recording this, but
right.
Because it's not
now who's the enemy?
Now, because it's not a yearly release, thank God.
Yep.
But I'm not. I want something new. I want something like that. God of War used to be this really cool franchise, and now I'm just kind of like, it's God of War.
Right, and to be fair, Sony Santa Monica does try some new things, experimenting with kind of the proven formula. For instance, down in the lower right, you see this kind of bar that I have filled up. If you chain together combos without being hit or touched, you build that up. And as you can see, it's full now, so my Blades of Chaos they're not anymore. They're going all crazy town and doing more damage.
I think that's not. I don't think that's new to Ascension. I'm pretty sure you could do that in the PSP games, unless I'm crazy.
I don't remember. You played the PSP games.
I did.
More than I did.
It's been. I mean, it's been like 3 or 4 years.
Right. It's been a while. So, all right, that might be new. The other things that I'm almost definite that are new are, for instance, a little bit later. This is early in the game. Like this is like the very beginning. Mm-hmm. So we don't have them yet, but you earn powers of the gods as you do in all the God of War games.
Right.
This time out, you learn. Sorry, I can't speak either. Earn lightning on your Blades of Chaos from Zeus, or like the power to freeze enemies through Poseidon, or like these damned souls that you can use that are
straight up Mega Man. style.
That are Hades and Ares. These like fiery. Effects.
That's cool.
Using all of those, so you can switch with the D-pad between them, and using them to kill enemies will unlock different types of orbs. So I believe if you use Hades' soul thing, you'll get enemies to drop green orbs to replenish your health.
It's kind of a tactical trade-off where you start using things in order to get certain advantages out of enemies based on your weapon.
So that's pretty much how combat works in Ascension. There's no more real weapons that you unlock. 'Cause remember, in previous ones, you unlocked, you know,
New
your weapons. Yep.
Yeah.
This one, those are your weapons. They're all tied to the Blades of Chaos, and then you can pick up, which I'm using actually right here, these weapons scattered across the ground that you use circle to use.
Right.
But there's real no point to use them because your Blades of Chaos do
You're so
everything.
You're so badass otherwise.
Right. It's literally just kind of like to switch things up for the sake of switching things up.
The thing that we're about to see here, and in just a minute with the hand that you see over on the left, this is kind of, in my opinion, what God of War's bread and butter is. It's the epic scale.
Right.
Right. So that's one thing that I will say, that just from watching Eric play Ascension and based on the limited media that I've seen coming into this, God of War, Sony Santa Monica, those guys, they still nail scale.
Right.
They do it probably, for this third-person hack-and-slash genre, they do it probably better than anyone else.
Right.
So if that's your thing, if you're going to see this moment that's coming up and you think, wow, I'm more than certain that that's going to be a repeating theme throughout this entire game.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of moments like this, and they all pretty much look gorgeous.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeesh. I will say, and this was one of my talking points actually in my review, is that sometimes these moments of scale are at the sacrifice of the player in gameplay. So what will happen, you don't see it in this video specifically, but the camera will pull back to let you see how grand this moment is.
Yes.
That's okay if you're not facing enemies or just running down a hallway to show like this towering building in kind of the foreground or the distance.
But when it comes time to fight.
But there are moments when it pulls back like that. So Kratos looks like an ant on the screen, and then the game throws dozens of people at you, and you can't see anything.
That's really annoying.
So, and that happens throughout the game numerous times, and it was just kind of this thing where I was like, this looks really great, but again, if you're one of those purists that like really likes to get into your like beat 'em up action games and try to go without being hit, not like God of War really, you know, keeps a score tally.
No, but there's a
still,
certain, there's a certain draw to mastering
like perfect.
combos,
right?
And
And in those moments, it's pretty much impossible because you can't really see what's going on, so you're just pretty much spamming buttons and praying.
And it's not like you play this on a tiny ass television either.
Right? No, I was in my room playing this at home for review. It's a 40-something inch HD TV, and I was literally having to sit up on the TV
like
to see,
like a little
like
kid,
a child.
just
Like I was
Sesame Street.
inches away from my television to see what was going on.
Well, the QuickTime events haven't gone anywhere. That's good.
Is there some sarcasm there?
How many times have we scaled bosses like this? How many times?
Many.
And I mean, it's like God of War kind of invented it or whatever, but Jesus Christ, we do this for everyone.
Yeah. Kratos fights some very big monsters, Joe.
So man, and you see him like stab these dudes in the head and they don't die. It's just so weird.
There are some brutal deaths in this game too for some of these boss characters, or just normal like trolls, like the poor trolls of the God of War universe.
It looks heinously violent so far.
Right. And there are some bits where, you know, you basically put a knife through the stomach of some like elephant beast, and you see the guts like spool out.
Yeah.
Like they specifically were like, let's spend a month and a half perfecting these animations.
We need a guts guy. We need a guy to come in here and just design entrails and how they pour out of an elephant as he's stabbed.
I believe it though. They hired a really like an artiste when it comes
an entrails artiste
because he is good at his job.
He gets it.
So,
I'm just hearing this is probably going to be the perfect game for diehard God of War fans. And for those people, congrats. But for someone looking for something varied and different, I think that Eric's gist and the gist that I've gotten from this watching him play, watch us play,
I see
if
what
you
you did
will,
there.
is that there are more unique options out there.
Right. And especially in this genre at this particular moment.
Right. So not a bad game, just not that redeeming.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just there's nothing here that's making me think, God damn, I need this.
As I said in the review, it doesn't provide anything that you haven't seen from the God of War franchise before better than it's been.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So you could revisit God of War 3, for instance, or the original, or the PSP games or whatever, and find this smooth combat and epic scale moments wrapped in a better story.
It does look good, though.
Yeah.
It does look really good. Oh, man.
And here's... this you do a lot in the game. These Snowboard Kids, I believe, was the game I referenced.
I will say one
Probably
more
a
thing,
terrible, obscure reference.
because it's about to wrap up, but these types of cutscenes make me not want a PS4. Just putting that out there.
There you go.
So,
Alright, this has been Watch Us Play. I'm Eric Norris alongside Joe Davidson. If this tickles your fancy, God of War Ascension is available now on PS3.
yes.
So you can run out and pick it up, and we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.